How do we think about AI as an intelligence topic, right? How do we start to focus and understand the plans, use, and intentions with respect to our adversaries in that space?
Just recently, the CIA's head of AI gave an interview where she talked about how AI is going to disrupt the intelligence business. It's a whole new way of thinking about how you process information, how you write products, even how you collect information. In summer of 2023, the director of CIA, Bill Burns, gave a speech where he talked about how this is a pivotal moment in history. We're looking at a revolution in the way that intelligence work gets done. New technologies are really shaping the way that analysts, operators, spies, scientists do all their work for the intelligence community. And that disruption is following a hockey stick format, where sometimes the trajectory is flat, but then all of a sudden a new development means that things change dramatically and rise upwards. The classic view of intelligence work is spies versus spies. That tradecraft still exists and will always need to exist, but the work of intelligence is also changing. New technologies mean that not only do we need to avoid strategic surprise for policymakers and anticipate what our adversaries are up to, but we also need to update our tradecraft and the way that we do intelligence work. The US has become accustomed to being the most technologically advanced player on the battlefield. When we were fighting the wars the last 20 years, we were fighting against an adversary that was far less technologically advanced. That means that we controlled communications, we controlled the skies, we controlled the pace of the conflict. That is no longer going to be the case. We are now in an era of great power competition, where Russia is fighting a war on the European continent using both old and new. They're using trench warfare, but at the same time, they're using drone swarms. We're really seeing how war is evolving and how intelligence work is evolving. At the same time, China is proving itself a leader in a lot of these advanced technologies. Its work on AI, its work on bioengineering, truly leaps and bounds ahead. In response, the US is adjusting their behavior. We're getting better at averting strategic surprise for policymakers by anticipating some of these developments. Also, the intelligence community is working really hard to incorporate some of these new technologies in its work. This is where the combination of government needs and industry innovation can really come together to play a pivotal role. Industry has come up with all kinds of really interesting ways to do this work better. Open source intelligence is one of those areas where these two parties can come together, both industry and government. The US government is really learning how to use open source intelligence in a new way, and many folks in industry are coming up with ways to serve those US government needs. CSIS is launching the new INT program, Intelligence, National Security, and Technology. This new program will provide actionable recommendations for those in the intelligence community and around the national security establishment on how to innovate better, how to incorporate these technologies better, and how to stay one step ahead of our adversaries. While the prospect of conflict seems a distant potential reality, the time is now to make some of these reforms. Great power competition is happening right now. China is innovating right now. Russia is innovating on the battlefield in Ukraine today, tomorrow, and next week. If we're not keeping up with that by starting this kind of work right now, then we're falling behind.